Hey, welcome back to the How to Podcast series. It's Dave with you. Glad to be with you again. Hope you're doing awesome. Like, spectacular. I hope you're doing, like, so good. People are jealous, okay? Like, that well. That, really. I hope people look at you and go, oh my gosh, what's up with that person? That's what I want for you. And having a podcast is a great way to get there. So if you haven't started yet, I'm cheering you on. I'm encouraging you to jump in front of the mic. Come on, it won't bite you. Let's get your message out there. And if you've been doing this for a long, long time, then keep moving forward. Action favors the bold. Is that how we say it? Yeah, I think it's like that. Let's go with that. And be bold with your podcast. Get out there, share your message. I want to talk to you about a podcast measurement that you can unlock as a podcaster. It's how to identify your very first fan of your podcast. It might not be who you think it is, and they might be actually really, really close to you, like super close to you. You would know this person if you saw them in public. Like you would know them very, very well, and they know you very well, like almost too well. Okay, like kind of like creepy well. This person really, really knows you, and when you find out who it is, you're like, oh, come on. And yeah, it's true. We're here to find the first fan of our show in the most unlikely place you would ever find this person. And once you find this person, you have your first fan. You ready? Are you curious? Okay, well, let's talk about it. Apart from how do I make money with my podcast, the most popular question close to that one is, how do I grow my show? And when we talk about growth around podcasting, we want to see like substantial growth. You know, like I had 5 listeners and went to bed. I had 100,000 listeners. Like, yeah, that's what we want, right? And well, most likely not going to happen. For the majority of us, 99.9% of us, that's never really going to happen. So it's nice to think that way, and I encourage positive thinking and putting that out into the universe. Great. That's optimistic. That's way better than this pessimistic kicking rocks going, well, podcasting sucks. Much better to be optimistic on what the potential is for every show. And anybody can do this. So you just never know what's out there for you. But I do know you will never get to 100,000 downloads if you don't start your podcast. That's one guarantee in life. You will not success at podcasting if you don't podcast. Guaranteed. I can guarantee that 100%. When we talk about growing our show, it's how do we find fans for our show? How do we find people who will love what we do? Like, love it. I love it. They just love it, right? How do we find these people? And, you know, you can go pay somebody to go bring people to your show. Are they truly fans? Probably not. They're just not. So that doesn't sustain itself for the long term. You might get a big blip and a big audience boost, but will they stay? Most likely not. And if you don't keep paying for that boost, you will see a decline. People will leave because the podcast isn't for them. They don't listen to your topic. They might not even listen to podcasts. They're just a blip. So how do you find a true fan for your podcast? Like a true fan that's committed to your show, loves what you do. Where do you look for your very first fan? Well, I want you to do something. If you're in the car, you can do this. If you are in your house, you can do this. If you're walking down the street and there's like a storefront, like the glass window, you can do this. Probably where you are, most likely you can do this. You can even just use your phone and turn your camera on. Because with your camera on your phone or whatever, you can do this, okay? Your first fan for your show is not external. It's not somebody out in the world. Somebody that you're going to meet. Some rando that you've never met before. That's probably not going to be your first fan and shouldn't be your first priority. The first fan for your show should be you. Yeah, you. You need to be the first fan of your podcast. Because if you're not a fan of your show, it's going to be hard to convince anyone else to be a fan of your show. If you don't just love what you do and love what you talk about and love who you serve, there's a good chance and likelihood that other people aren't going to pick up on that, and they're not going to love what you do either. And very hard to convince people to love something that you're not in love with, right? Podcast hosts need to be their own very first fan. It's so powerful, and it's fundamental to the success of your show. For your podcast, I have 4 things I want to touch on around you being your very first fan to help your podcast grow and give you a firm foundation for your show to survive, to have longevity, and to be a show that attracts more people. The first, your passion for your show sets the tone, the vibe, the feel of your podcast. Your passion. Do you know what the word passion, where that word came from? We throw it around like so often in casual conversation. And I think when we find out the real true meaning of a word, we're like, whoa, wait a minute. Now, passion is something, when you're in love with that person, like you're in love with that person, like, hello, that's passion. Like, all I do is think about them. Like, they're just, wow. When we look at the original word for passion, in the Latin form, passio means to suffer or endure. To suffer or endure. Do you have passion for your podcast? Are you willing to suffer and endure for your podcast? That doesn't sound so sexy now, does it, right? Wait, passion's supposed to be that warm, gushy feeling, like tripping over yourself. No, it's to suffer or endure. That is what passion is. It is this commitment for the long term. It's not exactly what we anticipated. So when we talk about having passion, are you willing to suffer or endure for your podcast? That makes me pause for a second and go, wow. The energy and enthusiasm and the belief that you are bringing to the microphone is contagious as a podcaster. When you genuinely love what you're talking about, listeners feel it and they want to join in the conversation. They want to be a part of something that attracts them, right? Think of your favorite football team and that fanatic who has every single piece of memorabilia, paints their face, shaves the logo into their chest hair. Come on, yeah, right? That person, passion, right? But again, they're willing to suffer or endure for their love. That's passion. One thing I'd like for you to try for you in your podcast to demonstrate the passion for your show. Before each episode, I'd love for you to spend a few minutes reminding yourself why you started your podcast in the first place and what really excites you about today's topic. For me, this topic, suffering and enduring for my podcast, is passion. Bring your enthusiasm into your recording. Listeners can't help but notice when you're like super into what you're talking about. Your passion, your willingness to suffer and endure for your podcast will come through the microphone or the camera, whatever you're doing, and it will impact people. Are you willing to suffer and endure for your podcast? Do you have passio, passion? Do you? Are you willing to suffer and endure? Some people aren't. I think that authenticity as podcasters builds trust and equity with our audience over the long period of time. Being your own first fan means knowing your own strengths, celebrating your little quirks, the things you do that you do, and embracing your unique voice. We talk about this so much here on the podcast that the only person who can do your show is you. I can't do your podcast. I don't have your wisdom, knowledge, life experience, connections, education, love, disappointments, history. I don't have any of what you have. So the only person who can do your show is you. So you need to lean into this. Audience resonate with hosts who are authentic and confident in their delivery. Podcasters who don't make themselves small, but put themselves out there. And warts and all, mistakes and all, and blemishes and all of that. And they're not hindered by who they don't feel like they are in the moment. We're all battling something. Everyone's on a journey. You're just sharing your journey in real time. And other people are attracted to people who lead. So be a leader. Authenticity builds trust. I want you, for your podcast, some homework, to review your latest episode. And I want you to note the moments where you were truly sounded like yourself. If you read from a script, I want some of your humanity to show up in the printed words that you're reading from. Maybe you just step outside of the script for a moment and add your little thoughts, or in the moment this thing comes to your mind. It's not written down on that script. And oh my gosh, I got to follow the script. But in the moment, you're like, something comes to you, a quote, something you read, something that just sparked your memory. You're like, oh, step aside from the script for a moment and share it. A little piece of you. I want you to review your most recent episode and count the number of times where you truly sounded like yourself. And commit to learning and leaning into those real, natural moments in your future episodes. Don't try to be anybody else. When you're hearing me on this show, it's the exact same person that I am in person. When you and I are together, standing in line or having coffee together, passing each other on a walk with our dogs, this is who I am. This is not an act. Authenticity builds trust. When we talk about wanting to grow our show, we want to grow our community, not just our audience. We talk about this so much here. Growing your audience is just growing a number of disengaged people that are attracted to or have interacted with your show. A community are people who put up their hands and say, I listen to your show and I want more. Community starts with you. As a podcaster, you're not just hosting a podcast. You're like, wait a minute. No. You're creating a community. You're like the mayor. You're building a whole ecosystem and world and commerce and supply and demand and space for people. You're building a town. As you reply to comments through personal reactions and interactions with your audience, as you ask people for their opinions or answer questions or interact with the show, you need to show that you're not just the host, but you're also an active and invested community member for your own community. You're not just leading the community, you are part of the community. And at times you're going to be up front, and at times you're going to be in the back. Community starts with you. When you want to build a community, you need to build yourself. And as you pour into your community, people will be attracted, people will feel safe enough to invite their friends, and your community will grow. Community over audience. Every day, all the time, community over audience. Audience people come and go. Community people come and stay. Community over audience. And community starts with you. We also need to celebrate any growth in our podcast and progress. In real time, we need to celebrate. Being your own first fan means celebrating your wins and your milestones. Just as you would for a listener or a guest, this keeps your motivation high and demonstrates the journey that you're on for others. So here's an action step for your podcast. Something that you can put into place this week for your next episode. Start your podcast with a win. Do your intro, do your thing, and start with a win. Why? It sets the tone. Everybody's like sitting up like, wow, good for you. You hit 10 episodes. Like the majority of podcasters don't hit 10 episodes, and you did. So, wow, you got 5 listens for your episode. Come on. Like, how many people get listens right out of the gate? Well done. You set up a Buy Me a Coffee and somebody donated to the show and gave you money. Wow. Here's a SpeakPipe message from a listener to the show. I'm going to play it right here. Right? These are all things that you need to celebrate. And as you celebrate, it creates a celebration for your audience, and your audience leans in. You need to be the first fan for your show and celebrate your wins, your milestones, and things that are happening that are positive within your podcast. Keep motivation high and demonstrate the journey for others. Start that podcast with a win. Write down every single victory. Remember that happy folder in your email box, in your email client? Every time something good happens, put that email in the happy folder. When you get great feedback on your show, when a guest says something kind, when you get that review, when, again, somebody leaves you a SpeakPipe message, a voice message, or they support your show through your Buy Me a Coffee. Come on. That's worth celebrating. When you've overcome something that was difficult in your show, you learned something new, you got a resource that helped you. Celebrate your wins. And you need to share these wins on your show. Social media, wherever, but definitely on your show. People love seeing people grow in real time. Your genuine pride in your wins for your podcast will inspire your listeners to start rooting for you and themselves as well. They'll see opportunities for themselves modeled by how you show up. Remember, podcasting isn't just about content. It's about companionship. People connect with you as a podcaster because you show up on a consistent basis. They look forward to interacting with you, even if they're just listening or watching you. But they have a relationship with you that's not like in real life, like they can walk into your living room and give you a hug. They are watching from a distance over the internet or through their phone, but there's an anticipation and an excitement when you show up for them. They're like, oh gosh, they're here. I get to listen to what they're doing this week. I get to hear more about their kids and the new job. I hope the new job's going well. They've been sick for a while. I hope they're feeling better. I should reach out to them. That's what your listeners want to do for you. So celebrate any growth that you've had within your podcast, within your journey. I think it really brings people to you and helps people to connect with you better. And that's being your own first fan for your podcast. So a win for me right now would be reading and listening to Fans First by Jesse Cole. He is the creator of the Savannah Bananas, which is always fun to say. His book, subtitled Change the Game, Break the Rules, and Create an Unforgettable Experience. So much from this book around creating a baseball team and league directly connects to you and your podcast. So whether you like audiobooks or a paper copy of the book, I would suggest both for this, Fans First. And they touch on this in the book. Jesse touches on this, that you, as the creator of whatever you're doing, need to be the first fan of what's your passion, what you're focused on, what you're building. And instead of going out and convincing someone else to be your first fan, you need to be your own first fan. And I love that. I think it's great. So that's my win, is having this book on my desk. It's always like within arm's reach, because I'm going to talk about it often and keep bringing it up to people that come across my path. But what's inspiring you right now? What are you excited about? What are you passionate about? And then lean into that and tell people about your journey. Because as you grow, people grow, and growing people attract other people. And that's how community starts. It starts with you. When you're genuinely your own first fan, your authenticity and energy become a magnet for the right audience. Keyword there, the right audience. You don't have to podcast. You get to podcast. It's not like I have to do this. I have to record this episode for you. I get to record this episode for you. It is a privilege to do a podcast. It's not my right. It's a privilege to do this. And I would love to know how you're going to demonstrate being your own first fan. What does that look like for you? And if you've lost that love for your show, rekindle your fan first moments around creating the show. Go back to why you're doing this and live it out loud in front of your audience. Be your own first fan. That's how to identify the first fan for your podcast. And that's how it all starts. You're the first fan. Look in the mirror, look in that store window, look in the rearview mirror of your car, go to the bathroom and look at the mirror on the wall. That's the first fan of your podcast. Treat them well. Pour into that first fan. Encourage them. Educate them. Support them. Don't talk down to them. And lift them up. And yeah, I'm talking about you doing that for yourself. Be your own first fan. It will come through in everything you do. People will pick up on it, and your audience, scratch that, your community will grow when you're the first fan of your show. Go out there and be fantastic. Take care. Keep podcasting. Talk soon. So I get asked quite often, usually at the end of a podcast, like right now, Dave, how can we help you? Like, how can we, as a listener, like, support the show? Can we come rake your leaves? Can we cut the grass? Shovel the snow? Watch your dog? Help you move? What can we do? Clean your dishes? Oh, that'd be interesting. Well, if you can't do that because, you're in Poland, maybe you can help us by supporting us with our Buy Me a Coffee. It's right there on our website. And, it just will help us to, A, stay fueled because, we drink a lot of coffee around here. And it helps the show. So if you want to help us, it's out of the goodness of your heart. I can tell you that listening to the podcast to this point, you've already helped us so much. But I do have people saying, Dave, I'd love to give back something small, even just to the show. Buy Me a Coffee link is on our website. I had a podcast. infront.ca. And you can support the show that way. It would mean a lot to have you on our team supporting what we do here. If you find value in the show, then that's great. Share the show, tell somebody about it. And when somebody says, Dave, I want to start a podcast, who should I check out? Oh, you should go check out the How to Podcast series because of all the great co-hosts and all the things that happen here, the meetups, everything. And I would appreciate that. And then fill our cup once in a while if you can. But again, thank you so much for being here and supporting the How to Podcast series. Take care. Talk soon.